Hello friends. For years, my life has been trying to organize sounds. As you may know, I am a composer, but actually I have been wanting to become a YouTuber since 2013 approximately. I started a YouTube channel for music theory in Spanish called Música Teórica Online. Also, I started another channel for contemporary music called Mexican Scores, where I publish music from Mexican composers mostly. And then about 7 years ago, I started this channel, The Life of a Composer, where I wanted to document how a composer like myself lives.
Hello, friends.
So I started making some videos in the cities that I visited as a composer, but then for some reason I stopped. Now I'm in a point in my life where I want to continue this channel, and I'm gonna do this for at least 1 year. I will try my best to publish at least one video per week. And in this video, I'm actually gonna show you how this process is going. What are the challenges? What's my equipment? How do I obsess with the numbers, with the statistics, with the views, which as you may see down here are very low right now? And how does this relate to me as a composer? When I was doing my trip in Bucharest, if you saw this video, you would know that at some point during the day I was running out of battery. So I had to buy me one of these things. It's a power bank and it allows me to recharge my phone about 2 times. When I started my YouTube channel 7 years ago, I bought me this thing. It's a tripod, and this is basically what I use when I'm outside trying to record myself in front of everybody. I'm sure you have seen people on the street recording themselves and you thinking, oh, there goes the next YouTuber. But well, many of them might become a real YouTuber, many won't. We'll see what happens with me. Of course, I also have a bigger tripod. It's great, especially if you're going to record yourself at home. The monitors, the computer, I also have a hard drive. I work with 2 different editing tools, Final Cut Pro, InShot, which is similar to Instagram edits and all these things. Something that I still need to buy eventually, it's a small microphone. When you're outside, the wind and external noise can be a huge factor into the quality of your sound. So during my trip in Bucharest, I used this. It wasn't great, but it was better than my phone. If you don't have an average recording, it will be very difficult to make something out of it, like you see here. Burgers originated from this thing. So I'm not gonna use these videos. I finally decided to invest in a microphone. I'm gonna do the unboxing, test it out, and see how it sounds. Exactly, this is the most important for recording outside. Very nice for the wind. We'll see how it works. Blackouts. They allow you to control the light sources in your room. Light in itself is a huge topic, big challenge to master. And then there is this, the place where most of us beginners come to obsess, the analytics. I bet every new creator and probably established creators do spend a lot of time watching these numbers. Views, subscribers, what happened in the last 48 hours. It becomes an addiction. We're all chasing the monetization goal. But let's be real, needing 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch views, or worse, 10 million views of shorts is just ridiculous. At least for me, it feels impossible right now. So here am I checking the numbers again, hoping one day I will reach this goal. We'll see what happens. And then there's the part where you actually have to edit the video. I luckily have music that I write that I sometimes use for my videos, but then you spend maybe 15 to 20 hours per video. You put your heart and soul into the making of this video, you upload it, and 5 people watch it. And half of them just watched the first 30 seconds because the rest was not interesting for them. It is a very frustrating experience and to some degree also very rewarding. It is interesting that Before you start making a YouTube channel, you basically will never get videos on how to make a YouTube channel. So there are hundreds and hundreds of creators. They explain you how to launch a YouTube channel, how to come up with a good title, a good thumbnail. And I have spent a lot of time watching some of these people. And they will tell you that very few people at the beginning will actually watch your channel. That you have to train the algorithm, that you have to be consistent, that you should at least try to do this thing for maybe 6 months to 1 year to start reevaluating if you want to continue doing these things. And I mean, depending on your personality, you start to obsess with all this information. You start to think about, what is my next video is going to be about? Should I document the behind the scenes of my videos? So this is what I'm doing just right now. And one of the goals that I have is to not only showing you what my everyday life of a composer looks like, but also my travels. I try to travel as often as possible, and for that you need money. And that is the other question. I will make another video where I talk about how a composer like myself makes a living, thinking about making a series of videos on how to travel as cheap as possible. The content is, in other words, watching another person trying to solve problems that you may also have. To restart my channel, after so many years, I decided to make a trip to Romania. That was relatively a cheap flight from Berlin, and I spent around 450 euros, including everything, and it was a pretty exhausting experience. You have to face the fear of recording in front of other people, talking to a camera. What do you say? With which volume? What's the energy that you're gonna have? Because as you may or may not know, what sells best is high energy. But what if you're not like that? Is there a place for you on YouTube?